Be prepared. You're about to see what everyone else is missing, because this week is the one moment nobody realizes they should be watching. The final days of August are never supposed to matter. People overlook them, write them off, waiting for September's chaos and drama to arrive. But this is the mistake. These last days are the hidden turning point, the ones nobody's talking about, and they carry more weight than anything you felt this entire month. And you're about to find out why, because this week is where the real countdown begins. And something already started shifting in the shadows. The rare black moon of August 23rd wasn't a passing shadow, it was a turning key. It unlocked something that most people brushed off, not realizing that the effect wouldn't come all at once. It lingers, it spreads, it bleeds into what follows. This week is not crucial because it stands alone, but also because it's charged by what's already happened. The black moon set the stage, it threw the match, and now the fire begins to rise. These aren't ordinary closing days of a month. They're the reaction to a rare ignition point, one of the catalysts that makes this exact moment impossible to ignore. And while the world sleeps on it, the weight of that reset is only getting heavier. The end of August is where the real harvest begins, not the physical one, but the spiritual one. This is the moment when everything you planted back in spring, every decision, every risk, every sacrifice, finally shows what it has become. Some people will suddenly see that their efforts have bloomed into real opportunities, relationships that feel solid, and strengths they didn't even realize they had. For others, this is when the truth stings, when it's obvious that something never took root at all. August is the month where the universe quietly takes inventory of your life. And that's why this week feels heavier than it looks on paper. It's not about waiting for September to bring change. It's about realizing right now whether what you've built can actually carry you forward. The harvest doesn't wait. It shows up whether you're ready or not. This is the week where you see exactly what's been working for you and what's been draining you. And once that's clear, you can't unsee it. On the 26th, the moon aligns with Mars, and this isn't just a gentle nudge of energy. This is the push that throws people past the edge. It's the no turning back moment, when hesitation suddenly collapses and action takes over. You might notice people around you snapping, confronting what they've been avoiding, or finally saying what's been stuck in their throat all year. Some will feel an almost electric confidence spike, like the universe has ripped the brakes off and dares you to just move. The Moon-Mars conjunction is the universe's way of forcing your hand, ready or not. This is why the 26th carries a charge that can't be ignored. It compels you to face the thing you've been circling around, to make the decision you've postponed, to step into the moment you thought you could keep dodging. Once Mars fuses with the moon, the page turns. And when it does, there's no flipping back. You might not see it yet, but something massive is already building under the surface. This week isn't just a quiet transition into September. It's the final checkpoint before one of the most defining cosmic events of the year, a total lunar eclipse that will hit next month. That eclipse isn't just another pretty shadow crossing the moon, it's the type of event that shakes the ground beneath people's lives. And the truth is, this week is the universe's way of testing who's ready for it and who's not. Every great turning point begins with a test that almost no one realizes they're taking. That's exactly what these last days of August are. They feel subtle, almost ordinary on the surface. You go about your routines, you think nothing's changing. But underneath, It's like the pressure before a storm, and the universe is watching. Are you clinging to the old cycle, or can you stand in the unknown? This is why this week is so important. It's not about instant results, it's about whether you're steady enough to handle what September is going to unleash. Think of it like the dress rehearsal before opening night. The lights aren't fully on yet, but the script is being locked in, and you're either stepping into your role or getting written out of it. Something big is brewing, and the reason it matters right now is because how you move through this week decides how you'll experience that eclipse. If you ignore the signs, it might feel like a collapse. But if you stay present, if you notice the small shifts, it becomes a launch pad. And that's why this moment is more than just the end of August. It's the hidden gateway into September's storm, and it's already pulling you in. While all of this intensity is building, there's also a secret gift tucked into these final days of August, a last burst of wildness, a permission slip to be reckless, free, and alive before the heavy structure of autumn sets in. This is the week where you're not only allowed to break your own rules, you're encouraged to. In the calendar of the soul, late August is the spark before the discipline, the final call to dance before the work begins. Think about it. The cycles of nature always balance. Right before the harvest comes in and responsibility takes center stage, there's always a moment of wild energy, a space where spontaneity thrives. That's why these days feel different. You may feel the urge to do something bold, spontaneous, or even mischievous, not because you're being irresponsible, but because chaos has its own wisdom. It's the sudden adventure that opens a new path, the risk that brings joy instead of regret, the unplanned decision that reminds you that life isn't just about structure and survival, it's about spark. The end of August is alive with this type of energy, and if you ignore it, you miss the celebration before the real work begins. Sometimes we forget that growth doesn't always come from silence and discipline. Sometimes it comes from laughter, wild ideas, and stepping off the path just to see where it leads. And this week, more than any other, carries that permission. So if you've been waiting for a sign to loosen up, to explore, to break free for just a moment, this is it. Because once September lands, the mood changes completely. And this may be the last chance to celebrate unpredictability before everything sharpens and the stakes rise. Have you noticed that lately, it feels like everything is speaking to you? A song lyric at the right moment, a strange animal crossing your path, a number sequence flashing on a clock, you catch yourself thinking, that has to mean something. And the truth is, during this last week of August, it's not just your imagination. The air feels charged in a way that makes ordinary moments feel like coded messages. Sometimes the universe whispers, and sometimes it screams through the smallest details. This is where things get tricky, because while being open to signs is a gift, there's also a danger in it. When the veil between events and meaning grows thin, your mind can start connecting dots that aren't really there. You might start seeing everything as a confirmation, a warning, or an omen, until life itself feels like one giant riddle. And while that can feel magical, it can also get overwhelming, even exhausting. Why is this happening now? Because the final week of August sits in a liminal space, the black moon reset just happened, Mars is heating things up, and the energy is tilting towards September's massive shifts. When the field around you becomes unstable, it heightens your awareness. It makes you hungry for meaning, searching for messages everywhere, almost as if your spirit knows a big moment is coming and is desperately trying to prepare you for it. But here's the paradox. Not every flicker is a prophecy. Some signs are mirrors, reflecting your inner state back at you, showing you what's already in your subconscious. That's why for one person, a bird flying overhead feels like freedom, while for another, it feels like a warning. The sign didn't change. You did. This is where the good and the bad collide. On one hand, being tuned in can bring powerful breakthroughs. It can align you with insights that shift your whole direction or encourage you to step into opportunities you'd otherwise ignore. On the other hand, getting lost in the hunt for signs can blur your clarity. You start second-guessing everything. Was that really meant for me? Did I miss the real message? Should I wait for another signal before I act? And maybe that's the real secret of this week. The signs themselves aren't the point. The point is how you interpret them and how you act once you feel their pull. Because when everything feels like a sign, you're being asked to sharpen your discernment, not to collect messages endlessly, but to decide which ones you'll let shape your path. Every sign is a mirror, but only you decide what reflection becomes your reality. And in this strange, heavy, electric final week of August, that choice matters more than ever. This week carries a strange kind of magic, the kind that feels just out of reach. It's the job offer that almost comes through, the conversation that almost turns into a confession, the breakthrough that almost lands, but slips at the very last second. For so many people right now, life feels like it's dangling rewards just in front of their fingertips, close enough to taste, but not close enough to claim. And that can drive you crazy. It can make you wonder if you're cursed, if the universe is playing some cruel joke, if every door is destined to slam shut right when you think it's finally open. But that's not what's really happening here. Life doesn't dangle the carrot to mock you, it dangles it to make sure you're willing to run. This almost miracle energy isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's the universe winding the spring tighter, testing how much faith, effort, and hunger you're really willing to pour into the dream you claim you want. Think about it. If everything just dropped into your lap fully formed, would you even value it? Would you even grow from it? The near misses are shaping you into someone who won't just stumble into blessings, but who will be strong enough to hold them when they finally arrive. The timing matters too, because September isn't just another month. It's a portal, an escalation, a point where the energy skyrockets and the stakes rise higher. And what's happening this final week of August is like a cosmic dress rehearsal. You're being teased with previews of success, with glimpses of breakthroughs, not so you'll despair, but so you'll build momentum. And momentum is the key word here. Every almost moment plants a fire in you, a restlessness that pushes you forward. That's why so many people this week feel impatient, fidgety, unable to sit still. It's the sensation of being pulled toward something bigger, faster, more demanding. So instead of letting these near misses break your spirit, see them for what they really are: signs of proximity. Proof that you're on the threshold, brushing against the edge of what you've been chasing all year. If the miracle wasn't meant for you, you wouldn't even be this close. The fact that it's almost happening is your confirmation that it's already in motion, already circling your orbit, waiting for the perfect second to strike. This week, it's not about claiming the miracle just yet. It's about learning to live with that burning anticipation, letting it fuel your steps, and refusing to walk away just because the treasure didn't fall into your hands the first time. The miracle is real. The miracle is near. But for now, it's staying just out of reach, so that when it finally lands, you'll know without a doubt that you were ready. On August 31st, the moon shifts into its first quarter, and that seemingly small lunar phase is anything but small. The first quarter is always a test, but this one is magnified because of the week it's closing. After the black moon reset and the almost miracles teasing you all week long, this first quarter moon acts like a psychological detonator. People often underestimate the first quarter phase because it doesn't look as dramatic as a full moon or as mysterious as a new moon. But spiritually, this is the pressure cooker moment. This is where unresolved energy builds up and demands action. And during this one, the feeling won't be casual or subtle. It will feel urgent, almost primal, like you're standing at the edge of your own patience with everything in your life. Things that were once good enough will suddenly feel impossible to tolerate. This is why so many people around this time feel restless, impulsive, and even reckless. A haircut suddenly feels like a necessity. A job that you've been tolerating for years suddenly feels like chains. A relationship you've kept sweeping under the rug suddenly feels unbearable in its silence. That's what this first quarter moon does. It flips the switch from passive acceptance to urgent craving. Not just a craving for improvement, but a craving for revolution. And it's not something you can explain logically. You may find yourself lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, knowing deep down that you have to do something, change something, without even being able to justify it with words. That's the moon stirring your instincts, your subconscious, the part of you that knows when it's time to break free. The intensity of this moon is amplified by everything that's already happened in August. You've been teased with the sense that something is near, pushed with the sense that something is building, tested with the sense that you're not supposed to just stay where you are. Now, this lunar phase forces the decision: do you stay stuck or do you leap? Restlessness isn't a problem, it's the soul's alarm clock ringing, telling you it's time to wake up. And that's why this first quarter isn't just about surface changes like moving furniture or changing your wardrobe. It's deeper than that. It's a reordering of priorities, a fire in your chest that says, I cannot live the same way for one more season. That's why people call this the crisis moon. It creates the friction you need to finally act. Some people will try to suppress it, to smother the craving with distractions. But that's like trying to ignore the sound of a ticking bomb. It only gets louder. Others will embrace it, and those are the ones who will ride this wave straight into September with unstoppable momentum. Because here's the truth. This moon isn't asking you if you want change, it's cornering you, pressuring you, forcing you to confront the fact that something has to shift. So don't be surprised if, by the 31st, you're looking at your life and feeling an unshakable urge to tear up the script. Don't be surprised if you suddenly crave a different look, a different path, a different rhythm. That craving is real. That craving is intentional. It's the energy of the first quarter moon breaking through the surface, demanding that you stop waiting and start moving. And once that craving sets in, there is no going back. Chaos has a reputation for being random, messy, destructive, but this week, it's different. The chaos that shows up in your life right now isn't meaningless. It's coded. It's deliberate. It's carrying a message that you're not supposed to ignore. You may notice your plans unraveling at the very last second, conversations taking strange turns, or unexpected disruptions breaking up the flow of your routine. At first glance, it might feel like the universe is pulling the rug out from under you just for the sake of it. But look closer. These disruptions aren't accidents. They're patterns in disguise. Every disruption is a doorway. Every obstacle is a clue. Think about it. If everything always ran smoothly, we'd never stop long enough to notice what's really shaping us. But when chaos strikes, it forces us to slow down, to pay attention, to ask, why did this happen now? Why in this way? That's the hidden rhythm of this week. It's not punishing you, it's teaching you to decode the message in the madness. For example, let's say you miss a train, or a meeting gets cancelled, or a conversation ends in conflict. Instead of seeing it as wasted time, see it as a rerouting. That delay could be giving you space to avoid something harmful, or pushing you toward an encounter you never would have had otherwise. That argument could be a spotlight on something you've buried for too long. That missed opportunity could be the universe saving you for something far more aligned. The key is to shift the perspective from why is this happening to me into what is this trying to show me. Because the truth is, chaos is one of the universe's favorite teachers. It doesn't whisper, it shouts. It shakes up the patterns you've grown too comfortable with. And if you're willing to look past the surface mess, you'll see that it's not destruction at all, it's a realignment. Chaos is order wearing a mask. This week, especially under the tension of the Moon-Mars conjunction and the pressure of the first quarter moon, that masked order is revealing itself. The trick is, it won't come with neat explanations or glowing signs. It will come in moments that catch you off guard, like spilled water, like broken plans, like sudden emotional eruptions. But if you stop fighting it and start listening, the meaning behind it becomes impossible to ignore. The hidden patterns of this week are not meant to confuse you. They're meant to wake you up. They're here to show you what really matters by stripping away the illusion of control. They're here to remind you that even when it feels like everything is unraveling, something deeper is weaving itself together underneath. So when chaos shows up over these final days of August, don't resist it. Don't label it as bad luck or random nonsense. Instead, lean in, watch closely. Because somewhere in the mess lies the very message you've been waiting for, proof that the universe has been orchestrating something precise all along. And the moment you spot the hidden pattern, the chaos stops looking like chaos at all. It starts looking like destiny. There's something different about dusk this week. The fading light carries a strange weight, almost as if it's trying to show you something you've missed. Pay attention, not to the sky, not even to the sun dipping below the horizon, but to the most overlooked guide you carry with you every single day, your shadow. Your shadow this week is not just a blur of darkness trailing behind you. It's a compass. It stretches, points, leans, and angles itself in ways that can reveal what's going on beneath the surface of your conscious mind. Around sunset, when the world is suspended between light and dark, the lines of your shadow sharpen, and with it, so does its message. Your shadow will always betray what your lips are too afraid to say. Imagine standing outside as the light fades. The shadows around you lengthen, some vanishing into corners, others reaching toward places you hadn't thought twice about. What you'll notice is that your own shadow doesn't just fall randomly. It has a direction. And that direction, where it stretches, where it points, can tell you more about what you're secretly drawn to than any thought you're consciously aware of. Maybe your shadow points toward a person nearby, and you feel an unexpected pull toward them. Maybe it extends toward a place in your environment you've been avoiding, like a street, a door, or even a desk piled with unfinished work. Maybe it just aligns itself with something symbolic, a tree, a crossroads, a quiet corner where you know you've been called to reflect. None of this is coincidence. The subconscious always leaks through, and this week, the shadow is its loudest megaphone. At dusk, your shadow isn't following you, it's leading you. The reason this is happening now, in this final week of August, is because the lunar cycle has reset. Your shadow doesn't lie, it doesn't filter, it doesn't perform. It simply mirrors where your energy really wants to go. Think about how powerful that is. So many times we say one thing but mean another. We commit to paths we don't truly want. We act like we're fine with good enough, when deep down, we're restless and yearning for more. But the shadow strips all of that away. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your promises. It will stretch itself toward the thing you secretly crave or the thing you secretly fear, because both are equally important to acknowledge. And here's the real test. Are you brave enough to follow it? Because seeing your shadow reveal your subconscious is one thing, but choosing to listen to it, choosing to actually step in the direction it points, that's another story entirely. Most people won't. Most people will laugh it off, call it random, and walk away unchanged. But those who notice, those who understand the signal, they get the rare gift of clarity, clarity about their desires, their direction, their hidden intentions. Your shadow will always tell the truth, even when you don't want to hear it. So this week, around sunset, watch carefully. Don't just walk through dusk like it's nothing. Stand still. See where your shadow stretches. See what it tries to connect you with. Because the moment you realize it's pointing you toward your true intentions, you'll understand. The universe isn't keeping your answers from you. It's showing them to you in plain sight, written not in light, but in darkness. Every year has its boundaries, its invisible checkpoints, where the energy shifts so dramatically that it feels like you've walked into another world without even realizing it. And right now, in these final days of August, you are standing at one of those borders. This week isn't just another 7 days, it's a crossing, a threshold. The kind of moment that you only recognize in hindsight when you look back and say, that was the week when everything quietly shifted. This is the moment when the air feels different, when time seems heavier, when even silence feels charged with meaning. Some weeks pass like pages in a book, but this week is a border. Once you step over it, there's no going back. You can almost feel it physically, as if the atmosphere has thickened around you. Things seem to hold their breath. Conversations pause in strange places. Even nature reacts. Dusk lingers just a second longer. Mornings feel crisper. The rhythm of life slows down just enough for you to sense that something else is coming. These are the final hours of August, and they aren't just passing you by. They are testing you. The weight you drag with you is exactly the weight that will trip you on the other side. August asks you one last time, what are you willing to release in order to step into what's waiting? The truth is, most people don't make this choice consciously. They stumble into September carrying every old pattern, every stale excuse, every hesitation that has been chaining them all summer long. But the ones who notice, the ones who feel the boundary in their bones, are given a rare choice: to set something down, to let go, to finally say, this part of me stays behind and the rest of me moves forward. And once you step across, the energy won't be the same. September is not just another month. It holds an eclipse, a dramatic pivot, and events that will rewrite the momentum of 2025 itself. That's why this week matters so much. This is the line where August ends. But more importantly, where everything that no longer belongs must be left behind. Every boundary isn't meant to keep you out. It's meant to see if you're ready to step through. The question is, When you cross it, what will you choose to bring with you? And what will you finally have the courage to let go? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.